All right, Sagittarius, welcome to your May of 2016 Sidereal Astrology forecast. I'm Athen, and this is for Sidereal. If you are new to the channel, be sure to check out the link down below because the signs are different. All right, so Sagittarius, we're going to look at the major events of the month and looking at what the overall theme is. If you do want a more specific look at what's unfolding this month, do stay tuned for your weekly where I go into all the detailed aspects. But this should give you a very good general idea of what to expect and what to cultivate this month. So first things first, let's go and look at where the fast-moving planets are at the beginning of this month. We've got the Sun, Mercury retrograde starting this month, and Venus all in your 5th house of self-expression, all in Aries. So there's a lot of energy to be gained through expressing yourself this beginning of the month. It's also good for cultivating your interests, your passions, or anything that's close to your heart in that sense. So you're gaining energy, you're gaining prana with the Sun here, and it is a good placement for your Sun, by the way. And you're also learning a lot about your self-expression and your interests and passions and things with Mercury retrograde here. So it's good to be adaptive with that Mercury retrograde to try new things, but still through that process, I think you're learning quite a bit. And Venus here too, you can maybe enjoy the more creative or playful or lighthearted aspects of life coming into this month. Now the first major event is on the 6th when we have a new moon in that 5th. So you'll probably notice a bit more of the dying down energies at the beginning of the month because it's the new moon cycle. So it's a good time to kind of reflect and plant new seeds in terms of your self-expression, your creativity, your playful side, your interests, your passions, and where you want to see yourself here, what you want to cultivate here in the next 6 months. It's a very supportive new moon. It is forming a kite, and that means there's a lot of supportive aspects with it, and it is conjoining up to Venus and that retrograde Mercury. So there's a lot to learn, but at the same time, it's good to, at the beginning, to start implementing it, right? First set the intention, start working on implementing it for the next 30 days, which is the short-term cycle of it, but also for the next 6 months, because 6 months from now, you're going to have a full moon in this 5th house of self-expression, and everything that you cultivate between now and then will be a reflection of that, or that'll be your status checkpoint, and it'll continue as it always does. So a good area for you to see and to cultivate this month in that sense. On the 9th, we've got your ruler going direct. So you guys over the past 5 months have been perhaps a bit more reflective, as it often is once a year for about 5 months with your ruler retrograde. But once he's direct, you guys are a bit more into the outward sense. This is where your adventurous spirit, your outlook on life, your philosophical ideas and things come a little bit more out into the forefront. So it's very good to have that forward moving momentum. And this has been in your 9th house, so you guys may have been reflecting on what life is about, what spirituality is about, what your life path is, your purpose, those adventurous spirits. And so now a lot of that starts to move forward. And you're going to notice too, especially with the North Node here, that you've got plenty of opportunities, I think, to expand your mind or your outlook or your worldview, or literally through travel or whatever, with Jupiter in that 9th house. And this is a good area for you to focus on too, because the North Node's here as well. Now on the 14th, we've got the Sun shifting into Taurus, and that's going to be your 6th house. So there is this definitive shift from the 5th to the 6th, the second half. And that's going to be followed by Venus on the 19th. So you can really be gaining energy the second half through getting your routine down, your regiments, your daily activities, perhaps your work life. And through that, you're gaining that prana, that energy. And then a little bit later, 19th onward, you can be enjoying that. Maybe making connections at work, or just enjoying the process of self-improvement, or of getting your diet and routine and stuff in order, because that's going to be the area of new beginnings for you next month in June. Now on the 21st, we have a full moon right on the cusp between Libra and Scorpio. So this is right on the cusp between your 11th and your 12th house. So with this, there's this status check now in terms of the full moon. Higher energy too. You could be seeing that you could be seeing your ideals, in fact, in many ways. You could be seeing what your hopes and wishes are. You can be seeing how those have been cultivated over the past 6 months if you've been actively pursuing it in that sense. Maybe even with groups and friends and community things could be coming to the forefront, as well as your spirituality, because the 12th house is about going within, right? Finding that spiritual peace. And so you could be having some insights, or you could be at a high point with your spirituality if, again, you've been cultivating these areas. Now it is going to be a perhaps energetic full moon because it is going to be conjoining up to Mars, but it's a bit reflective. Mars is retrograde, and the first half of the month Mars is in that in that 11th house of yours, or excuse me, in your 12th house. So this is the house of spirituality. So you're probably coming into this month wanting to reflect on that spiritual time out, that alone time, your connection with God, your connection with life in that sense from the present moment. So through that reflection, this illumination on the 21st could be helping you understand more about that. And then there's this shift. From the 21st onward, you'll probably start to reflect more on the group stuff, the community things, your ideals, your hopes, and all of this, which again, during this full moon is an excellent time to cultivate that with wanting to hopefully, try new things and be adaptive in the process because of that retrograde Mars. Now on the 22nd, Mercury goes direct, so you'll probably find a lot of these things that you were reflecting on in terms of your self-expression start to move forward. Again, you might be learning quite a bit about it, and these things that you have learned this month about your interests, about your inner child, your playfulness and whatnot, really starts to move forward. And I think it's about applying it, it's about putting it into practice from the 22nd onward, and you'll probably notice that really gaining more momentum too as we go into next month. Now the last major aspect is that your ruler Jupiter is squaring up to Saturn for the last and final time this month. This has been going on since August of last year. So this is where you guys are hopefully taking that more serious, grounded approach to these possibilities in your life with Jupiter in that 9th house. Saturn has been showing you spiritual discipline, right? How to accept life, how to go with the flow, to release, and all of this, which doesn't come easy. And Saturn here is helping you really ground it, discipline, and do that hard work so that you can expand your horizons and follow your life path and stuff in a way that's probably a bit more accepting and going with the flow. So it's good to work on this still. It's nothing new. Like I said, it's been going on since August, so whatever that may be specifically for you as well. Cultivating it, working on it this final time here on the 26th, and then it becomes integrated going into next month. All right, Sagittarius, so have a fantastic month. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time.